So what cases? We have to go for the data archival and purging basically. Let's suppose your database size is very huge and you are storing, you can say, some historical data or maybe audit trail, something like, let's suppose user is like a moving multiple pages and each and every pages we are like storing with a SQL like a save table basically. So number of record is increasing and let's your data size is very usually like a more than 500 GB. So one table maybe contains like a 200 GB data. So due to high volume of data in a table, you are getting a like a performance degrading day by day. So for this issue, like if you are getting a performance degradation from the table perspective, so basically we are going for the some cases it's a purging and some cases you can say archival. So purging, let's suppose you don't want a data in a future usage. So that case you can go for the purging. Let's suppose I said like I have a website and user is log into those website and they are moving like a home page, services page, or maybe they are going with a like a let's suppose Imagine website. So first we are login and then we are moving with a multiple product. And after that, I'm going to like buy one single product. So whatever product I'm exploring, those product information or those page information, like they auditing basically. So let me add one topic, auditing, and then first I have to add it's data auditing, and then you can say archival and purging basically. So you can say in auditing, I'm saying like let's suppose I started logging with a SQL Server and how many person are logging. So those login information I'm capturing, what time they log in and what time they log out. Let's suppose he did some like a action, like he altered a table, updated some record. Each and every record, each and every action we are tracking into the table is called auditing basically. So in future uses, like let's suppose auditor came into the company because every year, every finance year they are coming and checking data how data is like a they are like a using and providing a you can say security of those data basically. So let's suppose something activity we are doing with a table, some maybe order table or a history table. So we are creating a multiple audit record and those record like every day like let's suppose one person is doing a five transaction and audit record basically they're creating a five additional record into the audit table or a history table basically. So maybe some cases like a user or management expecting some report from the audit table or history table. So basically like a SQL developer will join both table like a main table and history table or you can say main table and audit table and then they will display a report with a management so that like a management can reach out to customer, basically they want to like buy this product basically. So for this case like if I will be joining like I have a live table 100 GB capacity and history table have a you can say let's suppose 500 GB capacity, and if I will be joining with a both table that will take a long time. So due to those, like let's suppose we are getting a performance issue while joining a main table and audit table. So that case, we have to like go for the archival or some cases we have to go for the purging. Let's suppose website perspective, each and every activity we are tracking to the table and those records, it's not required, no more required. Like let's suppose they went through multiple, you can say pages and after that like after 6 months after like a 3 month I don't want those data, so basically we have to go and delete those data. So what is the best way to deleting purging a data from your database, and what is the like a best way how we can go and audit your table basically, and how we can archive those data. So in this all three topic, what we can do in this three topic, basically mainly we will focus with a SQL query, and we can go for the like a deletion, or you can say, or putting a data into the historical table, how we can archive. So archival same like a, we have a history table, we have a like a main table, like a live table, those consumed by the website. One another history table we have to create and put data into it. Maybe like a utilization of the live table versus historical table is a very lesser, like a 10% usage of the archival table, and like 100% usage of the, you can say, main live table basically. So I will,
Can
yes, sir. Yeah, tell me.
can you please come again about this archiving?
So archival, I'm saying,
Archiving is nothing but like compressing the data and keeping in somewhere else.
no, you can't say this one, because basically
Okay.
what is happened? Like let's suppose I have a table, order table. We'll create a separate table. You can say order history. Okay, and I will keep all like a, let's suppose company or maybe management is asking to us like a, in a live table, I want one financial year data. So only we have to keep one financial data into the live table, and additional data we have to keep into the history table. And basically this process will do with a, you can say, automatically. We'll know, like it's not a manual process to every day we have to come like a put a data. Let's suppose today I started working, and let's suppose company is saying like a 1 week data I want into the live table, and 1 week before each and every data I want to like put into the historical, so that I will get a good performance basically. So for
Okay,
all
like for
these
the like to speed up the retrieval process from
in
the
the live,
live data
yes, yes,
from live table.
yes, right.
Okay.
Maybe some cases like some solution like basically we have another instance like a archival server is also there. So what we can do, like we can copy those data and we have to move into the archival server for each and every. Like, let's suppose for my use case, only one table is a like a large table, large volume table. So those table we have to keep into the different server, different database, so that we will get a good performance. And that cases, like let's suppose I'm deleting a data, I'm moving a data from the one main table to historical table or different databases. So maybe you will get a high fragmentation. And those cases, you have to go for the rebuilding indexes basically. And I know Arun is facing such a problem last like 3 5 years, and they have a like a good implementation of like a archival and purging and auditing into the his system basically.
Okay. We can schedule this, right? A job which
Yes,
can
yes, yeah, yeah,
archive.
same will do now. Yeah,
Mhm.
you can say practical session. And this session is also correlated with, you can say, speed up performance of your SQL instance, basically. So basically,
Okay.
in an interview, so interviewer is asking, like, let's suppose we have like a 500 gig or 1 terabyte data into the single table. How you can delete? So basically, if I will ask for now, like a phrase I didn't explain till now. So could you please tell me, Arun and Sek, both, like if you can explain like a, if we high volume data into the my live table and I have to delete, could you please suggest the best way for the deletion data from the main table?
Sorry,
We
sorry,
can
sorry.
go with the data archiving.
Yes, Zach. Yeah, tell me. Sorry, I missed those.
Yeah. I'll suggest like I'll give my inputs to go ahead with the data archiving.
Yes, yeah. Tell me. Okay, data archiving you are suggesting basically for the archival or purging. Let's suppose management is asking to you, say, I don't want
Okay.
those data because it's a, you can say, website like a table, each and every like a what I can say, it's a, like a exploring history we are capturing into the table. And I don't
Okay.
want those data. Like a only I want like a 1 month data, not more than that. Because let's suppose I have to suggest some item to individual customer. I have a 1 month
Okay.
data. On basis of that, I can suggest to him. But I don't want more than like a 1 month data. So could you please
Mm,
suggest
okay.
for the purging?
Mm, mm, okay.
And those table holding, you can say high volume because I said like it's more than 500 GB record available into that single table. So what is the best way for the deleting a data? And if we'll be deleting a data from the live table, so basically we'll get some performance. You can say it's a index fragmentation. We'll get a more like a some it's increasing. Like let's suppose 100%. We have a 12-month data, and you are going to
Mm,
removing a like a 11-month data for now. So basically,
okay.
we'll get a 90% or 80% fragmentation issue. Okay.
We will create a job steps like to purge the data and immediately rebuild the indexes.
Okay. So basically, it's a straightforward. But let's suppose like a you are like a just now. Let me go with a practical demo so that you got to know. I think we have to create some data or okay, I'm creating a data and then we can go ahead. Oh, it's a pause my screen. Sorry. Are you able to see my screen? Because my screen in between pause basically.
Right now, we can see the PPT of this data auditing, archiving, and purging.
Sorry, I'm in a SQL server. Okay, let me try to share once again. Could you please confirm which screen are you
Now
using?
we can see the SSMS.
Okay. So basically, we have to dump a data into the one table. So let's try to create a one table into the payroll I'm creating here. I don't with a multiple column. And Arun, if you can suggest like you went through so many archival process. So if you explain it, then we can try to like cover those part also. If you did any mistake till now.
No, actually, I just want to tell you that please tell us one more thing that table is using in production and it is a very important table. Means every minute approx 100 or 200 records input in table
Yes,
means
yes.
coming to input in table. So how could we archive this type of table?
Yeah, we'll cover
Because if
those. Yes, yes, same, same.
and
I will
and
try to
and
cover.
and one And one more thing that suppose if we have done any wrong archival, like partial archival, we have done any wrong data insertion in
Hmm.
our table. So how could we revert this data again in uh, base table?
Okay, yeah,
Like that,
same.
these things.
Okay, I will cover those point also. But basically, I ask like, let's suppose like a same scenario. I have a high volume type and concurrent used by this table by the application. Okay, so how we can purge? I'm not asking for the archival. I'm asking I have to delete all the data. Like we have to keep 1 week data or 1 month data, and this is a live table. It's a used by the concurrent user. You'd suggest what we can
We'll
do
create
here.
a duplicate table of. It's like can we create a duplicate table and mention like specific date data to be inserted in this table? Then we can start deleting the data from the live table or the other table.
Yeah, we can create a duplicate, basically duplicate table we can create and dump all the data into it. But you tell
Okay.
me, first target, we have to finally touch live table. If we'll create, so basically you are creating for the safety purpose because I created a dump, I created another duplicate table so that if I will made a mistake, I can recover from the like a backup table. But
Right.
what is the final goal here? We have to delete a data from the actual like a live table basically. So what is the best way? Because concurrent user is using those table. Same situation like Arun explained till now. Concurrent user are using. So how we
Okay.
can? So Arun, if you can suggest this part, because you went through so many like activities. So
Yes,
meanwhile,
please.
I'm creating. You can say one table so that we'll get a high volume of data. I will be creating here.
Mhm.
So if you can suggest how we can delete, you face so many issue till now. So if you can explain those issue, I will try to figure out. I know like a reversal is a problem. So those issue also I will figure out. So do you have any like a suggestion for this one? Like let's suppose we have to go with a purging a data from the live table.
Uh, no, Priya.
And archival. Could you please explain like
Yes.
a partial archival and full archival? So if I
Okay.
can ask like a full archival, okay, same example.
Mhm.
I'm not going with a, you can say partial archival. I have a table, okay, and we have to go for the full archival or maybe partial archival. And those table is a live table for me. You tell me what is
Mhm.
the best way to archive those table for
Okay.
your use case. Yep.
Suppose table employee is our live table, and we are going to do the full archival for this table.
Yes.
So what we will do, uh, first of all, we will create same another table, means same table structure with the name of table employee archival. And if we are going to full archival, so uh, we will create another table, same the structure of this table like a table employee. And if we are using the uh, same structure in the sense same indexes, same constraints, same primary key, all of these things means same structure we will catch up from this table and apply to another table. And after that, when we if we are using any identity like primary key or any other else identity, so we will continue these in new table.
Okay.
But same is not in partial archival actually. Maybe it's depend on developer if they want to do full archival and they and don't need to any identity. They want to start identity from one. So it's depend on developer if they want to start from fresh identity. So it's depend on developer. They want start from the one or not.
Okay. So one thing I want to know, like let's suppose I'm inserting identity in a one table, like a one server to another server.
Mhm.
We'll get a same identity into the different server or different table. Could you please confirm? If
No,
I
we will. No, actually, we will starting from the suppose we are archival any table and this is the live table, and 50 or 100 means we will check how many records are coming in 1 minute in this table. Suppose 100 records are coming in this table. So in meanwhile, in that time when we will do the archival, so what happened that 100 records may be miss.
Okay.
So that's why we will start the more than we can start identity means 500 more in our in our last table, or maybe 1000 from the in last identity.
Okay. Okay, 1 second. Let me try to check. Are you able to see this could you please confirm? Are you able to understand this query? What query I'm creating here?
Values name plus cast as work, cast 5000 ran as begin.
Okay, let me go with
Okay.
the design. I'm going with the decimal. Basically, I'm creating a random salary. Okay, so let's begin to load a data into it. So any problem to creating a load into the, you can say, inserting a data here.
You
So
have created a loop like.
yeah, so basically in a name, I'm concatenating a, you can say, whatever number is generating. So name should be different for each and every value. And here I'm adding, you can say, 5000 plus whatever, you can say, a random function is creating a value here. Okay. So now I'm starting to load a data into it. Okay, implied table invalid. Why this? Okay. Payroll databases, we have to select payroll. Okay. So I started inserting a data into it. Okay. So basically, you said if we have a live table. Okay. So let's start how we can complete those part. In a first discussion, you said you will create a same replica. Okay. Same replica, whatever table, live table is available, same constant, same identity you will be placing into the audit table or archival table. Is this right?
Yes.
So one thing I want to explain here. When you want to high speed loading a data into the table, any table, please don't create any indexes. Let's suppose I start writing a data into the target. What will happen? They have to manage frequent whatever data inserting. They will update your index pages. They will generate your identity. Okay. So instead of going with a index table, let's suppose first table contains 5 indexes, primary key and like a 4 or 5 non-cluster indexes. So please don't create any constant into the target table. Mainly, you have to create a heap table, plain table without index, without any check. You know, your source table have a primary key. Okay. So if primary key is there, it means cluster index is there. It means already holding a unique record into the source table. Then why you are placing a primary key into the target table or archival table basically. So please don't create any constant, any rule into the target table, archival table, and try to insert data. You will get a good performance. And instead of let's suppose you want similar index architecture into the target or archival, what you have to do? create separately your index, because whatever table you created, archival, those table is not like a more usage by your application. You got my point? Because recently you created a new table. Okay. So instead of going with a like a same structure, same constant in an archival table, please don't create anything. After completion of loading data from the live table to archival, after that you can create whatever indexes you need, or more than that. Like let's suppose I have a one OLTP server. Let's take example. I have a one server, it's a live server. Another is a reporting server. Assume those. So if we have to move our data from the live table to a reporting server, same example, just like archival. So what I have to do, we have to create a plain table, move our data from the your OLTP to OLAP server. After completion of load, you have to create additional indexes over the reporting server, over the you can say archival table. You will get a good performance. You got my point? Because you have to do like a archival table mainly created for you can say bulk loading, not for the like a application will write a data into it. Because now you are doing a archival, maybe tomorrow maybe you will refer same table and you can go for the archival. Basically application will not do archival process. So if you want to load like a bulk load data into the target in archival table, in reporting table, please remove all the constant, all the indexes, because whatever constant and index source are available, it means they will apply those data. We are not going with the additional table merging into the same table. You got my point? So basically you are increasing your IO so that you will be write a data in a efficient manner.
Okay,
Sorry to
so the
interrupt,
steps.
Divya.
Yeah, tell
Yes,
me.
Sheikh, you. Yes, Sheikh,
Yeah,
you can.
thank you. So the step one is to create a duplicate table as a heap table without any like constraints, right?
Yes, right.
Okay, that's all right.
Yeah, yeah.
Then we
But
can.
next problem. Let's suppose you created already heap table and now you have to
Okay.
do like some partial archival because already Arun explained. So please don't go and select entire data like let's suppose I said 90% data. I have a 500 GB table and 400 GB we have to move into the archival table. So in one go, please don't select whatever range you are expecting. You have to check like how many data, like how many records in a one go. Like let's suppose I'm saying I'm selecting 1 week data. Like I will create a something like here I'm creating a you can say loop one by one. I'm increasing here. Let's suppose your table holding a unique like some identity auto number is there. So you have to check that in an existing table how identity is working. Like some cases, maybe some people is deleting a data from the main table via application one by one. Okay, so you have to check like you can say density of the data. So how we can figure out? Let's suppose I will be selecting a range like a 1 to 100. You got maybe like on basis of your actual like a thought you'll get 100 record, but what will happen, let's suppose end user or maybe application deleted data like a 50% data deleted. It means some cases you will get a 50 record and some cases you will get a 10 record, some cases you will get 100 records. So something like that you have to check from the identity serial number. So basically I'm creating a table, same table I will try to handle. And how, and another point, let's suppose I have to read a table. So which column you have to go and filter out those data. Like I said, you have to go in a chunk instead of going with an entire table, entire filter set. Okay. So let's suppose I'm saying like I want 1 month before data. So today I got, let's suppose today the get date is this one. I will be subtracting minus 30. I will get this data. Okay, let me open a new query. So you got to know. Let's suppose this 5th 12th is a 1 month before. So in create date, I will mention where create created at, I created one column. It's greater than this. So it means this data is important for you. This data you want. This is a required data for you. Okay. And you don't want after this data. This is not required. You have to purge this data basically. So you have to go and say less than that. Oh, okay. It means 1 month before I have to purge or delete a data. So let's suppose this table holding, you can say it's a long data. You can say, let me go and if I'm saying in a main table, live table, we have is a less than this, and I'm going with a greater than. I'm saying like a company has started 2020 to 0101. Let's suppose this is the data available into your data set. So please don't refer this statement. You have to check in a one day how many records are there. If you'll get like a, if I have a 5,000 of record, like a 10,000 record, 1,000 record. So basically, prefer way we have to go if your data page contains 500 row count. So instead of going with a like a 500, what is happening? I'm not audible. What is a step two? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Yes, we.
So I'm saying you have to check like a single days. How many record you are getting? Like let's suppose I'm going with this. I have to check like how many record I will get here. So those record you have to find out like if you are getting a more than 1,000 record, then you have to split created date into the date part and time part also. But if you are getting 100, like 1,000 record, basically you have to go maximum 500 to 50 chunk. So if your record count is a 5 or 100, you have to consider and you have to go one by one date wise instead of going with a range base. So I think we have to connect our next session and maybe data will ready and we can start with those data. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.